Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Christina. But if you're not, if you're new, I'm happy that you're here, that you've come back, or that not that you've come back, that you're new. Sorry, it's Sunday night. Um, Let me move this closer to me. It's Sunday night. It's been a long weekend for me. So my brain is a little fried as far as speaking is concerned. But I was really excited to do some readings, so I wanted to do those. But anyway, sorry. If you're new, I'm glad you're here. Welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm happy that you're here too. And we're going to do a reading tonight on it's a work and money reading for people who are students, who are employed. If you just heard that, I had a message come in. I'm sorry about that. Who are students, employed, unemployed, and/or looking for work, retirees, or self-employed folks. I think I've covered almost all of the demographics. But if I haven't, let me know if I'm missing somebody, and I will add that next time, or add it into one of these groups for next time if they fit in, or if it fits into one of them. Because I think I said I'm going to try to do these on a monthly basis. These types of readings for you. So we're going to get started. I shuffled up all of my cards, and I've already laid out cards for each of the tarot cards and oracle cards for each of the categories. And we're going to start with the students, people who are in school, getting ready to graduate. If you identify with this as a student, you can be undergrad, you can be grad school, whatever the case may be. If you identify with being a student, then this part is for you. I'm going to try to timestamp all of these in the description box below. So if you want to be able to fast forward to whatever section applies to you, you can do that. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, I haven't looked at any of these cards yet, so. Okay, the first card for students, Knight of Wands. Ace of Wands, okay. Seven of Wands, all wands, okay, that's interesting. I feel that this may be for people who are getting ready to graduate. I don't think this is people who have already graduated this year. I think it's people who are getting ready to graduate maybe in like December or maybe even further out, maybe next spring. But what I'm getting with the Knight of Wands and the Ace of Wands, specifically the Ace of Wands, that's nice, new, fresh energy. That's, having a fire lit under you and being really ready to go, really ready to make your mark on the world in whatever way that you're doing, or in whatever way that you would like to do, based on what you've studied and whatnot. You're really ready. And the Knight of Wands, you're ready to get out there and move forward. I really like that. I do see, though, with the Seven of Wands, that you're encountering some struggles. And I'm sure if you're in the United States, but even if you aren't in the United States, if you're elsewhere in the world, this is because the world economies are really messed up, I think, right now. And it's hard the job markets are difficult. It's hard to find new jobs. It's hard to get your foot in the door. And I'm seeing that, you have the passion and the wherewithal to get out there and do this, and you're marketing yourself in interviews and you're promoting yourself in interviews, but you're coming up with no thanks, you're not right, you're not right for this position. We're looking for somebody else. We're looking for something else. We're looking for more experience, even though this is an entry level position. That really irks me as somebody who ran into this a lot, and has heard many people, even people who are far far senior, um, not senior in age, not senior as in senior citizens necessarily, although that too, but people who have plenty of maturity and experience, and they're applying for jobs that they should be able to get, and they can't because they're saying, "Oh no, we need more experience," even though the job posting says no experience or 1 year of experience or whatever. They'll say, "Oh," and maybe some of you through internships, multiple internships, whatever, you do have that 1 year experience or however many, and you're like, or you have more, and you're like, "I don't understand why this is a problem." Sorry, there's so much glare on these cards. Might have to use different decks next time. I also had backlighting last time, so which I think helped a little bit. But anyhow, I'm sorry. You might have the experience that they're asking for, and they're saying, "Oh no, we want more experience," and you're like, "What?" So this could be an issue if you're not experiencing it. It could be an issue that you end up experiencing later on down the road, depending on what it is that you're graduating. I do feel like this is for people who are graduating or on their way out, or a few months from graduation, they're already starting to put feelers out there for jobs. Okay. So you've got your Oracle cards now. Star Power. It says, you need engaging work that will let your talent shine. You are a natural actor and influencer. You attract fame and fortune. With all of these Wands cards here, if you are somebody who is who is like a music major or a theater major or something like that, with the Seven of Wands card, it could be that this could be part of the issue that you're encountering, is you're going for auditions and you're auditioning for this chair or you're auditioning for that role in a show, and you're not getting. There's something that you're being told no, and you're like, well, what do I have that somebody else doesn't have? Or what does this person who does get picked, what do they have that I don't have? And it may be very disconcerting and very disappointing that you're not getting these jobs, these parts, these chairs, these opportunities, whatever they are. Could even be an internship, quite frankly, guys. I didn't even think about that, but this could be an internship maybe that you're not even getting. And what I do want to say with the star Power card is, even though you're getting a no, please don't let that disappoint you too much. You're allowed to be sad and you're allowed to be disappointed. You're allowed to be mad and angry and scream into pillows and all that, but know that you are special. You do bring something very, very special to the table that somebody else does not have. And what's hard, and what is going to take patience, and I have to say this to myself, what's hard and what's going to take patience is finding the place. Let me see if I put the card. No, that doesn't quite help. I was trying to avoid the glare again. Finding the place and the people to work with who do see your talents, who do see your sparkle, and who really do want to work with you. And it may be too, I'm looking at the description on the card, you are a natural actor and influencer. It may be that some of you, in the meantime, do take to doing some influencing work with social media. I don't really know how all of that works. I know being an influencer is a thing, but Maybe some of you are already doing that. You're doing something where you are out there because the traditional ways of going about things where you go for auditions, you go for interviews and all that isn't quite working yet. Um, it could be that there's um, something you could be doing or are doing online on Instagram, on YouTube, or whatever that you can put in your portfolio if you're going into a position where you need to have some sort of portfolio, and examples of your work. Um, it could be something like that. But what I'm really getting with this card most of all is don't let the rejections get you down. Try to stay positive. It's easier said than done sometimes, I know, because you can really end up getting down on yourself when you're getting a no after no after no after no, or if you're not hearing anything at all. um, it can be really difficult. It can be really hard. um, so try to hang in there a little bit with the star power. Know that you are worthy. That wasn't really what I wanted to say, but that wanted to come out. Know that you are worthy. Know that you do have what it takes. If you start doubting yourself, should I really be doing this? Do I have what it takes? Yeah, you do have what it takes. You do have what it takes. The right person just needs to see it. And the people who have been seeing you, that you've been exposing yourself to, they're not the right people. They're not the right people. You will find the people you fit with and who can appreciate you. All right. Got a few more cards. And I haven't looked at these beforehand, so I don't know what they are. Um, I'm seeing them for the first time right now. Okay, next we have the Archer. I'll hold it up here. And the Archer says, biding your time, planning ahead. So with this, it's saying, again, it's reiterating what I was saying. It's going to take some time, and it might also take a little bit of strategy. And depending on your industry, depending on what it is that you're doing, there are people out there. Maybe there are influencers online who can provide you some insight, provide you some strategies for really pinpointing what it is you want to do, where it is, what your goal is, and how to get there. If you find yourself, because you're so excited, if you find yourself kind of just applying for anything that crosses your path, that tangentially matches what you're interested in, it's kind of like throwing spaghetti at the wall and trying to see what fits. That might not be the best solution or the best strategy. There may be some people out there who can direct you and give you some ideas about how to plan for what it is that you want to do, make a strategy for what it is you want to do, so you can meet your goal and get the job that you want, get the role that you want, get the position that you, whatever it is. But it is going to take a little time and a little practice with the Archer card. I like that. I like that came out that way. All right, and your last cards are from my Tea Leaf Fortune Oracle deck. So I'm going to show these to you all one by one, all at once. You've got the Bow, you are highly thought of. Teapot, deep friendship with someone of the same sex. And Arrow, oh my god. Okay, so you got the Arrow card and you got the Archer card. What does an archer do? They shoot arrows. The archer shoots arrows. And you see that. I love when cards come out and they match. They resonate with each other. They echo. That shows you spirit is working. Spirit is with us and trying to get this message through. I like it. I like it. I like it. With the bow card, you are. This is that giving me that star power energy from the star power card. There are people, even if you're getting no's, I feel like you are impressing some individuals who you're interviewing with or who you're auditioning for or whatever the case may be. You may be getting rejections, but you're sticking in their minds. It could be that um, you end up maybe hearing, you may get an initial no, an initial rejection, but you could end up hearing from them again, saying, if whoever this is that you've interviewed with, audition, whatever, um, it could be that you hear from them again and they say, oh, we might want to consider you. Such and such, so and so fell through with this. Are you interested in this position? Is this something you would like to take? So you could be, it could be something like that. Um, Deep friendship with someone of the same sex. It doesn't have to be somebody of the same sex, quite frankly. Sorry, let me try to get it's washed out. Oh Lord, there you go. That's better. I should hold it over here. Um, it could be with somebody of the same sex, but it doesn't have to be. Basically, though, what I'm getting with this is you could form a connection with somebody, going back to what I was talking about with influencers, you or other people that um, with excuse me, recruiters or people of that ilk. You could form relationships with these individuals, and they may be able to help you get that next job or help you make the decision about, or coach you is really what I'm aiming at. Speaking of archery and arrows, they could coach you about how to get through this next interview, or how to really pick and choose what it is that you want to apply for, um, what jobs that you want to apply for or audition for. They may know somebody who knows somebody, um, and kind of have be an in for you into whatever field. Um, networking. Networking. This, I feel like, I know it says deep friendship. I'm not necessarily feeling that it's talking about friendship necessarily, although you could become friends with these people. But I feel like this is more about networking, building, and I hate the word networking, but it's important. Building your network, making friends with people, and adding them to your professional network at this stage of the game. If you are just graduating, that is important. Especially these days, it's very hard to get a job cold just by sending in an application. Usually, you have to know somebody, or you have to make yourself known to somebody. Um, get on LinkedIn, start sending messages to recruiters, or find somebody who can put you in touch with a recruiter, that sort of thing. Um, but yeah, networking is going to be important in order for you to. That can be part of your strategy, is to in pinpointing where it is that you want to be and how to get there, is work on your network. You see a position you like, try to find somebody who works at that company to find out about that company, to see what they can tell you, to see if they can make a referral. There's information online about this, and I'm sure that if you are in college, you've got a career coaching program in college. They can help you with that too. Um, but yeah, networking. And the arrow card, lastly, you are on the right path regarding. Hold on. You are on. Sorry, I have to get used to this camera still. You are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. So even though we've got the Seven of Wands, and that doesn't feel too cool, It doesn't feel good. You are going in the right direction. You are going in the right direction. You may want to refine things, refine the direction you're going in. Um, but I'm sorry, I don't know if you could hear that, but my dishwasher just went off. So sorry for the noise there. Um, what was I saying? I'm sorry. You may be able to, you may need to refine your goal. Um, Again, strategize some more, but you're on the right path, despite the fact that somebody has said no. Um, it may not have been the right position for you. Um, they really could be looking for something else, or they could be missing out too. But whatever the case may be, you're going to end up in a position that is better for you. You're on the path to that position, even though you've gotten rejections from things that seem perfect. They may not have been. Um, but don't get discouraged. You're on the right path. So keep going, keep doing what you're doing. And if you do that, there'll be good things, fame, fortune, accolades, perhaps later on down. Maybe not immediately, of course, but later on down the road. So keep up the good work. All right. So we are going to move on to employed folks, people who have jobs and may just want to get a little insight about what's going on in their lives, in their work lives. First, we have the Queen of Cups. This is about intuition, compassion. Someone, if it's a person, it's somebody who's very much in touch with their, with the softer, let's see, soft skills is what I like to say, or we'll think about with the Queen of Cups as far as work is concerned. Let's see what else we've got. The Three of Swords reverse. Okay, so there has been, in this group, there has been some sort of, I feel like there has been some sort of disappointment in the past, and it may have really affected you emotionally with the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is the master of emotions, really. The Queen and the King, in different ways. Let me see what else I've got before I say anything else. Just a minute. The Empress. Okay, sorry. The Empress. Hopefully this doesn't get me dinged because there's a bare pregnant belly. The Empress card is about abundance. It's about creativity. It's about birthing something new. What I was going to say earlier with the Queen of Cups and the Three of Swords reversed is I feel like maybe some of you, or there's somebody specifically who feels that maybe they're too, or maybe they've been told this, or whatever disappointment this was has made them feel this way, that they're too emotional, they're too, they wear their heart on their sleeve too much, and that they're just not, because of that, they're just not right for the job they're in, for the role that they're in, even though they may be very good at it. They may feel or have felt like they need to go back to the drawing board because things just aren't working out. And I see the Empress here with these cards as a message of hope, really. Even though, and I'm being drawn to the circle circular shape of the cup, and then the roundness. Uh-oh, there we go. Roundness of her belly. Um, and what that's making me think of is, of course, the cyclical aspect of everything really in life. Um, but with the Empress card, I feel like there is hope. There is the ability, despite the disappointment that you're with it in reverse, despite the disappointment that you're coming out of, that you felt and that you're coming out of, you are seeing how that disappointment, I feel, fits into the broader story of your work life and your experiences, your professional experiences, and that there's a chance for a new beginning with the Empress card. There is a chance to start over and to do something new, and maybe do something creative if you're creative types. If you're a creative type, or your job has some creative bent to it, um, start over, try again, because there's something that you're going to come up with, some idea that you're going to come up with and give birth to, that's going to come to fruition and be a really big, it's going to be a big deal. It's going to be important. Um, Important for you, important for the other people in the world that it touches. It's going to be important. Let's look at your oracle card and see what's going on there. Timing. It's all in the timing right now. Pull another card to see if you need to do it now, wait a while, or make a different decision. Before I do pull that other card, because I wanted to pull one card from this deck for each group, but for you I got two, and I guess this is why, because it says pull another card. If you, in your job, you are required to be creative and create on demand, and that has caused issues and heartache for you with that Three of Swords. um it's gonna, the people that you're working for may not understand that something, a true beautiful creative product takes time to make, just like a baby takes 9 months to gestate. It does take time. um Let me see. Pull another card to see if you need to do it now, wait a while, or make a different decision. If some of you are thinking about making some sort of career change because of how your work is received, um, or because somebody says, no, you need to do this faster, or something to that effect, take a step back before you make any rash decisions. Again, it says pull another card, which we're going to look at the other card to see what it says. Pull another card to see if you need to do it now, wait a while, or make a different decision. So having said that, let's look at this other card. And we've got investment. Invest in your education and make some big plans for the future. Take calculated risks, but save something to fall back on. So whatever, just if you're making some sort of decision regarding your work, maybe it's something that you wanted to, if the example I used before about, maybe whoever you're working for wanting you to move faster, or get something done faster, create something faster, and you're like, I can't. This is how long it takes for me to provide a useful product, a useful idea, a useful creation, a well-rounded creation, whatever the case may be. Um, if that doesn't resonate, then it could be that, oh, I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. They give me things, and then if I, sometimes I lose them if they, if I don't get the words out fast enough, because new things start coming in. Hold on just a minute. If you have to make a, if you've gotten to a point where you're so disappointed in what you're doing and where you are, and you're trying to make a decision about maybe whether to stay, whether to go, or what have you. As far as this timing card is concerned here, don't do anything rash. The investment card is saying don't do anything rash. Um, Take some calculated risks before you make a decision. Take some time to really think it through. Is it worth me leaving this position? Is it worth staying? Maybe it's the reverse. Maybe it's the opposite. Do I need, talking about investment, do I need to actually spend more time on what it is that I'm doing in order to create a useful product or a good product, for lack of a better word? Something somebody will buy, something that somebody can use, something that won't fall apart, something that, I'm thinking like tech things, something that does what you really need it to do, that's programmed correctly. Maybe I do need to put more time into it. Sorry, I thought I saw my cat jump up on the back of a chair in the other room. Um, and if you didn't hear her, she did make a noise, so she said hello. She might visit us. So, um, do you need to invest more in your education or some other training in order to enhance your skills and maybe be able to create? I'm talking about creation a lot, but that's really what's coming through. Or to learn how to, maybe you need to enhance your soft skills, learn more about emotional intelligence, or enhance your emotional intelligence is really what I'm trying to say. Um, Maybe you need to take some classes or some training, invest in that, or see if the company you work for has any classes or training where you can invest in that so you can become a more well-rounded employee. Um, but don't make any rash decisions. Don't make any rash decisions. Okay, let's move on. Next card is the aspirant in reverse. And let me show you this right side up. It says ambition, diligence, setbacks. In the reverse, you've overcome some sort of setbacks, I feel. Your persistence and your work has paid off. So maybe you are going back to school with the investment card and learning to do something new, learning new skills that you can that you want to put to use. Maybe the old job that you're in isn't emotionally satisfying anymore, and in order to, or maybe it never was emotionally satisfying, and you want something that was emotionally satisfying with this Queen of Cups. So you go back to school, get more education, get a new degree in something that really does interest you, that allows you to grow. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Last cards are the tea leaf cards. and I'm going to show these to you both at once. I haven't seen them before, so this is my first time. We have four-leaf clover, which says great good fortune, and pale, time to get out of a situation. All right, guys, if there are any of you who are in a job that has been disappointing, that has been problematic, where you're not getting, I was getting earlier, and this could have been what I was thinking and forgotten. If you're not getting the recognition that you want, none of the cards here really speak to me necessarily about recognition, but if you're not getting the recognition for the skills that you want, it's time to move on, to do something else. If you're in a position like that, like I said, is not emotionally fulfilling or not emotionally fulfilling anymore, and your pail is tipped over and all that water is poured out, all those emotions are poured out, and you've been disappointed and hurt and you're tired and you're just done, it's time for you to move on. There's something better with the four-leaf clover. This is, with the good fortune, this is the time. The time is now to move on, find a new job, find a new path. Think about what it is that does really make you happy, and see where those things lead you. Talk to people. If you have a therapist, talk to a therapist. Do you have a career coach? Talk to a career coach. I talked about career coaching actually very briefly in the student portion of this video. It might be time to network and connect with others who can assist you with your growth moving forward. Okay, so that's all for you guys. I hope this was helpful, and I'm going to move on to our next group. Now we have people who are unemployed and looking for a job, or people who are otherwise looking for a new job, whether they're unemployed or not. Starting out, we've got the Eight of Wands. Things are moving fast, or they need to move very quickly. Everything is coming to a head. So it could be that you have been on the hunt, as I said, looking for a job, and things are finally coming together, and you may actually be getting a position. You found a position, you've applied for it, everything's, you've done all of the interviews, and you may actually be getting an offer coming up. I feel like we're coming to that point. You may be coming to the end of the road in finding a job, and you may actually be finding the job that fits and that works for you. So I like that. Otherwise, this can also mean lots of messages going back and forth, lots of applications being sent out. And I think they're all things that you're excited about, all things that have lots of possibility. You may not have heard back from anybody yet, but they're all things that have possibility. For some people also, I feel like this Eight of Wands is about maybe you have applied for a job and you have heard back, and there's a lot of back and forth communication about when can you start, when are you doing this, that, and the other, which is a good thing. I like that. I think that's good. Hopefully that doesn't go on for too much longer, though, and you can actually get something nailed down and start this new job. But that might apply to some of you too. Okay, your next tarot card is the Hierophant. This can be about jobs in higher education. It can be about working for large companies, working for a church. Even the Hierophant in the traditional deck looks like the Pope, really. But if there's no religious bent, of course, this can be about working in government, working for large corporations where there's a hierarchy, working for a school system, university, places that disseminate knowledge. I just heard Google, which to me doesn't quite fit with the Hierophant, but it is a large company. But I just heard Google, so I don't know if somebody is has worked for Google, is applying to Google. They do something in data and tech. Um, I'm not sure, but I heard Google. Google. So, and your last tarot card is the Seven of Pentacles. I've been getting a lot of messages in these last three, your group and the last two, about patience and time, and that could be because we are in Mercury retrograde, and things do kind of get delayed in Mercury retrograde. Messages can go awry and go missing in Mercury retrograde. What I'm really feeling though are delays, and you need patience. You need patience with whatever it is that you're doing, that you're working on. And that may be really hard depending on how long you've been unemployed, or if you're still employed, how long you've been working and working to find a new job, looking for a new job, going on interviews. Um, but it does take time to see the fruits of your labor. Okay. Um, Startup. Is somebody applying to a startup? Hold on. If somebody's applying to a startup, I feel like maybe things were moving really fast, like the application process was moving really fast, and then it kind of stalled with the Seven of Pentacles. And it didn't stall because of you, it stalled because of them, the business. Whatever organization you've applied with, it stalled because of them. Something that's going on their end. I don't know if it's because they don't quite know what they want, maybe, or they have other, there's some reason it's stalled though, and that's all Mercury retrograde type of stuff. So I wouldn't be alarmed about that, but I do know that it is frustrating. Let's move on to your oracle cards. Okay, I've got many choices. It says you have options even if you don't see them right now. Get creative and look around. Pull a card for each option to see what's best. That's drawing me back to what I was originally saying about the the Eight of Wands. You may have multiple applications out there, um, that are all good, that are all possible, um, but it's going to take time to see what ends up working, what comes to fruition. Um, and again, if things are taking time, it's not because of you, it's because of the business. With the Hierophant card, it's because of the business. They may have lots of applicants, and I'm sure they do, with the way, things, with the way the job market is right now. They may have many choices for who to pick for a role. um, but what I'm really getting with this card is you also have many choices. And that can actually sometimes make the waiting a little harder, because you're like, I've applied for 20 jobs and I haven't heard from any of them. I've been there. I know how that goes. Um, they're all possible, but there's a stall. There's a delay. You haven't heard anything. Um, I will say for some of you also, um, if you have been applying for jobs and you haven't, nothing has stuck, nothing has really come to fruition, nothing that you like, or what have you, um, you might need to try to think about, I don't like saying need, because I feel like I'm telling people what to do, but you might consider thinking outside the box a little bit. So let's say that, let's say that you've always taught school children, you've always taught second grade. There are no second grade roles available. You might want to see what other, this is a terrible example, I'm sorry, but you might want to see if you're a fit for another grade level. Um, or if there's or maybe, teach at another sort of school. If you've always worked in public school, can you work in private? Um, you might need to expand a little bit, just a little bit. Um, okay, that's all I'm getting with that. Next card, two cards from this deck actually. We've got the Musician, Inspiration and Gratitude, and the Walker, the Unknown, a Journey. Part of what may help you as you're moving forward, if there have been delays, and if you're a spiritual person, you probably are if you're watching my channel, if you're watching a tarot reading, um, thank the universe, thank spirit, thank God, whatever you call it, the creator, whatever you call the kind of overarching energy that works with us and guides us. Thank them for the possibilities that do exist. Thank them for the experiences that you have. Thank them for the opportunity to apply for the jobs that you have applied for. Thank them ahead of time for the jobs that you will apply for or you may apply for in future. I feel like that will help you um, manifest your next position a little bit more with these two cards. You may not know where you're going with the Walker card. You may feel like you're throwing, and I made an allusion to this earlier in one of the other readings, you may feel like you're throwing spaghetti at a wall and nothing's sticking, but it's supposed to be that way for now. The lesson could be, I think is gratitude. And I feel like through that gratitude, I feel like you need to spend time in nature. If you're worrying too much about this, I feel like you need to spend time in nature, in quiet time, maybe meditation, excuse me. Um, you may get some ideas while you're taking a walk with the Walker card, while you're out taking a walk in nature around trees and flowers and all that, about what other choices are out there, what other things are out there that you can apply for that maybe you haven't considered. Something may come to you, I feel, um, if you take the time out to kind of quiet your mind and think. I feel like that's necessary right now. Okay. And your last two cards, I'm going to show both of these to you at once because they usually work together, are time to go out and have fun and compliments from an admirer. Okay, time to go out and have fun. Again, that takes me back to that Walker card a little bit. If you're worried about this a little too much, if you're worried about your job prospects, if you're worried about the fact that you haven't heard anything from anybody yet, go out and have some fun. Try to take a night, a day, a couple days where you aren't putting in the applications all the time. You aren't sending them out, as quickly as you find them. You're not. I'm seeing like a conveyor belt, and there are things going by on the conveyor belt, and you're just stamping each one as it goes by. That's kind of what I'm getting with the Eight of Wands card, actually, which is weird because I'd associate that more with the Eight of Pentacles card. But I feel like or doing like a mail merge on the computer or something where you're sending out a mass email to a bunch of people all at the same time. Yeah, not mail merge, I'm sorry, but it is like a mass email. You're sending all these out at one time, and it's just too much. Slow down, take a break from that, because it'll make you crazy. Take a break from that and go out and have some fun. Go out and have some fun. Add a little bit of levity to your life. Go out and take a walk. You don't have to go out and, party or anything with the grapes card, but you can go out and take a walk. Whatever it is that makes you happy, that's fun for you, do that. Do that. It might be doing a puzzle. It might be staying in the house and doing a puzzle, but whatever it is, put a halt on the applications for right now and try to have some fun. Try to have a little bit of, add a little bit of lightheartedness into your life. Um, Something will come in with the bouquet card, compliments from an admirer. Um, Something is going to stick, if you will. You are going to be hearing from somebody who is going to ask you to come in for that interview or that second interview, or actually offer you the position with these two cards together. The grapes card is also about abundance. Um, and that abundance, it can be money, um, it can be just lots of good experiences that you're having, one of which can be getting a new job, getting a job offer. That's a form of abundance. Um, but but the key is to kind of get yourself in a different mindset, in a more positive mindset. Go out and have some fun, or stay home and have some fun, whatever it is, but have fun. That's the point. Have fun. Do something that makes you happy. Do something that maybe you haven't done in a long time that's enjoyable. Go out and breathe some fresh air. Go out and, sit near the water if you can. Look at some flowers. Do something different. Do something different and try to enjoy yourself. And they'll put you in a little bit of better frame of mind, I think. All right. That's all for my unemployed and or otherwise looking for a job folks. I hope this has been helpful. And I'm going to move on to the next group, which is my retirees. Okay. My retirees, we have the Six of Wands starting out your reading. So if you're just retired, this is like, to me, this is getting the gold watch. When my mother retired, she did get a watch, actually. It wasn't a gold watch, but it was a very nice, expensive watch. And, but what I'm really seeing here are all of the plaques and awards, that she got from her employer for so many years of loyal service. This is like I was about to say the graduation award. It is like a diploma, actually, a diploma for retirees, getting your an object of appreciation, be that a certificate or a plaque, or sorry, my hair, a certificate or a plaque or a watch or all three, all of the above. So if you're just retiring, congratulations on the start of the rest of your life. This is cool. I'm really happy for you. Three of Cups. Now you have time. Now that you're retired and you've got your gold watch, and you don't need to keep track of time maybe as much anymore. Now you can go out and have some fun with your friends with the Three of Cups. You can enjoy. You can celebrate. Hopefully you're having a party, to celebrate your retirement. Yeah, this is great. I love it. I love that. Your last tarot card. Oh, Four of Swords in reverse. This message may be from my mom. Hi, Mom. Four of Swords in reverse. In the upright, it's about taking time out to center yourself and meditate, to get in touch with yourself. Some of you may need to do that, but since this is in the reverse, what I'm also getting is there may have been things in life that you put on the back burner prior to retiring, you need to do those things now. It's time for you to resurrect those things. Um, if you haven't spent a lot of time with your family because you've been working for the past 40 years, spend time with your family now. It may be difficult, um, depending on the relationships and whatever the dynamics in your family, but spend time with your family now. It, all of the cards in this deck feature hands and things that you do with your hands, for the most part, but I'm really paying attention to the hands in this. Um, if there's something that you do with your hands or that you used to do with your hands that you enjoyed, like whittling, like taking a piece of wood and carving it, that's what's coming to me. It doesn't have to be that. It could be fixing cars, for all I know. But if it's something that you do with your hands or that one does with their hands that you really enjoy doing, that's something that you need to be focusing on. I feel right now. Again, like I said, resurrect that. Resurrect that. Try to spend time doing that again. Um, okay, I think that was it with that card. All right, let's see what else we got. Excuse me. Innovation. You will need to come up with new strategies to keep your plans in motion. Old ways are outdated. Invent, create, and test ideas. Okay, what this is telling me, well, with the gears, that's making me think of the car again, actually. So, if some of you guys, if there are any folks out there who are gearheads and you haven't had time to play around with your cars, now is the time to get under the hood and get dirty and get all oily and messy, and have some fun. Or go-karts even. I just heard go-karts. Okay, building go-karts. Um, or there's something else with motorized. I don't know what it is, but I keep thinking go-karts. Um, but what I'm getting with this is there have been ways that you've had to interact with the world and live for however long it's been since you've been working. Um, and you've gotten used to those ways. You've gotten used to waking up in the morning at a certain time and doing certain things to get your day started. And it's going to be difficult, um, if you are just retiring. It and even if you haven't aren't just retiring and you've been retired for a while, you may still be dealing with this where it's difficult to get into a new groove in your life, but you have to try to do that. You have to start new daily traditions, I think, with this card. Instead of getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and get ready to go to work, you can still get up at 5 if you want to. You don't have to, but you can still get up at 5. But instead of um, you don't have to rush or anything to get ready for work. What else? What else is there that you can do when you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning that you want to do? Maybe that's time for you, instead of getting up, to sit in bed and read while the house is still quiet, while the world is still a little quiet. Maybe you can spend some time reading, during that time, or praying if you're somebody who prays, or meditating if you meditate. Do something different. Start making new traditions. Um, if you're somebody who gets bored, who kind of feels like they have to, and I'm smiling for a reason, for somebody important out there, she'll know who she is. If you're somebody who feels like they always have to be doing something, um, there are a couple things. You don't always have to be doing something. I would challenge you to meditate, or something like that. To spend time, maybe doing devotional exercises. Um, if you don't do that anymore, again, praying. I keep coming up with praying. Um, maybe you have a book. It's not, a spiritual book or anything like that. It could just be like a romance novel or something. I don't know. But read a couple chapters. Or maybe you've always wanted to learn a new language and you want to learn French. And you've got one of these language apps like Babbel, or I think it's Babbel, or Duolingo, or something like that. Maybe you spend 10, 20 minutes in the morning when you get up with your French in Duolingo. But come up with new ways of doing things. Um, Even later on in the day, I know I was talking about morning specifically, but any time of the day, whatever strikes your fancy. Um, Maybe you come up with some new hobbies. You decide to take some classes or something to learn something new. You come up with a new hobby. Um, Volunteering. Maybe you start doing volunteer work. If you really do need to be busy all of the time and doing something with your hands, if you're kind of a kinetic or frantic, not frantic, frenetic, um, you kind of have frenetic energy. Um, there's somebody who needs to do something with their hands, and I know one person specifically, and I'm like this myself, but I know I'm not retired yet. Um, but you need to keep your hands busy. Keep your hand do that, whatever it is that you do with your hands to keep your hands busy. Do it. Draw, play the piano, um, write poetry if that's your thing. If you like to write it longhand by hand, do that. Um, it's something that gets you sucked in. That is what you need to spend time doing. All right, next card. The pathless, difficult decisions, lack of direction. For some of you, retirement can feel like you don't have any direction anymore. Like your days and your time don't have direction anymore. Um, I don't use the deck that this is from very much, that this card is from very much, but I want to read for you what it says in the deck or what it says in the book, excuse me, for this card. So bear with me while I find the page. And notice all the hands. This deck doesn't just have pictures of hands, although it has quite a few. But there is something. It's odd that I chose the tarot deck that has all the hands, and then this oracle deck that has a lot of hands. So, and I didn't pick up on this in any of the other groups so far, but for the people that I'm talking to right now, people who are retired, it is very important that you are doing something with your hands, that you are doing some sort of activity with your hands. That can be a lot of things, but whatever you're doing on a daily basis, do something with your hands. Or maybe if any of you have issues with arthritis, or maybe early onset arthritis because of an injury, it might be that doing something with your hands, like maybe exercising your hands, helps you. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not trying to give medical advice. I can't. So if you have doctors who are helping you with any of these things, please go to them and see them. Don't rely on a tarot reading, because we're not doctors. We don't know. We don't know. But there could be some sort of exercising that you could be doing with your hands to strengthen, not to strengthen your hands, because that's not the thing with arthritis, but I feel like you'll if anything with medical issues with your hands applies to you, I think you'll know what I'm talking about. It may be that the job that you had took its toll on your hands. You have like maybe it's like carpal tunnel or something, or something worse than that, and you had to retire because you couldn't do that thing with your hands anymore. Again, please make sure that you're going to your doctor and talking to them about that, and hopefully they can help you um, be as comfortable as you can and have your hands be as comfortable as they can. Um, but for others of you, I feel like also if there are activities that you love to do that do involve your hands, um, try to do them as much as you can now while you have the ability and the dexterity. That's the serious part of my message as far as that's concerned. Oh, I'm sorry. I got a little grim, and I was not planning on that. Okay, but I do want to read to you what it says in the book for the pathless. I just have to find it. Okay, page 102. Okay. It says, I'm going to read both the upright and the reversed meaning for this card. So, the upright meaning of this card is the street is busy, alive with the shouting of voices and the sound of boots on cobbles. But one pair of feet seems to have no destination, walking in circles, meandering and lost. This poor soul is the pathless, who hesitated on many decisions and rushed into too many others. They are the product of indecision and misdirection, lacking confidence in themselves and trusting too much in people who would misguide them. It feels like progress on whatever you've been working towards has ground to a halt. Others might give you unsolicited advice, but you know yourself better than anyone else. Take a step back and consider a new direction, but don't keep stubbornly moving forward if it's not getting you anywhere. Now, what I think really applies to this group is the reversed meaning. Reversed, the pathless doesn't lack direction because of stubbornness, rather because of an impulsive energy that's driving them in multiple directions at once. You know what you want, but you lack the valuable experience needed to organize and plan how to actually get there. Consider that you might need a little more time before you're in a position to pursue this particular path. What really stood out to me is being driven, the impulsive energy and being driven in multiple directions. If you had a job where again the energy was very frenetic and you kind of had to be doing multiple things at once all of the time, and now being retired, things are not that frenetic anymore and you don't really know how to deal. Again, there are other things you can do. Excuse me. There are other things that you can do that will engage that part of your brain that needs the activity. You just need to find, I don't want to say just, because it's not that simple for some people. It's not that simple, I think, for most people. But it's being able to find those activities that engage that part of your brain and your soul that like that constant activity. So yeah, okay. Let's move on to the last two cards, which I'll show you at one time. We've got the marriage card and the dog card. And the dog card says protection from a powerful friend. For those of you who are in marriages or have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, some sort of significant other, this is your time to spend more time with them. This applies to another group of retirees. I feel like if you haven't been able to if you haven't in the past been able to spend as much time with your significant other, or maybe I'm seeing like two couples maybe that like to hang out together before a lot, and somehow they kind of lost track of each other, and weren't able to hang out together as much as they used to. You might want to spend more time with your partner, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever it is, and also spend more time with those other friends too, that you have been in long-standing friendships with. That's another part of making new, um, forming new ways of doing things on a regular basis. Forming new traditions. Traditions isn't really the right word, but it's the word that's coming to me right now. Um, and committing to those new ways of doing things. Um, you know, not just doing it one day and saying, oh, and saying, oh well, now I'm bored again. Try to do it every day. It can be hard. It's going to be hard, because it's like learning. It's almost like learning a new skill. Um, I think it may, and I'm not quite sure of this, but I feel like that. I feel like I need to say, like, setting up more new neural pathways in your brain. And I know that learning anything new, it does take practice and repetition. I feel like before that neural pathway is set, and then that um, that skill, or whatever it is that you're learning, becomes almost starts becoming second nature. Then, um, so again, takes time and takes patience, but it also takes effort and commitment. Um, but for some of you too, though, I feel like this is time for those of you who are married, taking that marriage card literally. For those of you who are married, it's time to get in touch with your significant other again. And I like that. I like that too. Um, all right, those are the messages I have for you, my retired folks. And now I'm going to move on to the last group, which are my self employed folks. So your first card is the Two of Swords. I'm going to pull the next card. The Magician. And the Queen of Wands. I love the cat. I love cats in general. You can see by my earrings, but I love the cat in this card specifically. I feel like for some of you, there's been like a some sort of, again, a stall. And if you've listened to any of the other portions of this reading, I've talked about things stalling, or there being delays or whatever, because we are in Mercury retrograde still. We're in Mercury retrograde until August 11th, at which point Mercury in Leo, I believe it's in Leo still. Yeah, Leo. And at which point it starts moving forwards again. It leaves the retrograde motion and appears to start moving forward in the sky again. So things that were delayed will then no longer be delayed. Things that were stalled and just came to a stop will no longer be. You can move forward with them. It'll be a good time to sign contracts if you need to sign contracts. Not that you can't do them during Mercury retrograde. It's just that depending on what it is, things can go awry with that. So, but yeah, I feel like I feel like it's a creative block actually. Even though the magician card in this deck is not in the reverse, I feel like some of you have encountered a creative block, or if it's not creative, maybe your marketing is not doing what you need it to do. It's not bringing in the customers. It's not bringing in the clients um, that you need it to bring in. With this Two of Swords here, it's like somebody who has writer's block. I believe is what they were going at with this imagery. Um, there may be a deal or I don't have anything about any cards here so far. I've got a whole bunch of oracle cards that we have to go through still, but I don't see anything here about money or transactions or things like that. But there could be a contract or a deal that you've been working on and trying to get through, trying to bring to fruition, maybe with a vendor or something like that, and it just hasn't been working. It hasn't been coming through, possibly because of this Mercury retrograde. Okay, if it's especially if it's been within the last month or so. Um, with the Queen of Wands is somebody who is also very intuitive, like the Queen of Cups, like all of the queens in the tarot deck. Very intuitive, but she's very action oriented. She wants to take action. She wants to get things done. She's got her hands in multiple things all at one time. She is the ultimate multitasker. Um, she's able to do everything. She is able to do everything. What I'm also getting now, too, guys, is maybe you feel like you ought to be able to do everything, and with this Two of Swords you just can't. You are stalled because you just have too much to do, and it may be that you need to, so you can be this magician here and do it all. Maybe in order to do it all yourself you actually need the help of somebody else. You need to bring a Queen of Wands or King. Gender doesn't matter. Don't get hung up on gender, please. um, it doesn't matter in the course of the readings. Um, maybe you need to hire somebody to help you. And this person who, they're an assistant. They're an assistant. You need to hire an assistant, like an admin. Um, they're very, whoever this is very good at being an admin and doing all of the things to make sure that you are on time for appointments, to make sure that you are delivering for clients, um, doing all the things. He or she is very skilled. They're very experienced with this work. Um, they will make you look good. Please hire them. um, but yeah, they can anticipate your needs very well. Not only because they have the experience, but because they are very intuitive. With that cat there, the cat in this card represents intuition. Um, they are a go. Like I say, the Queen of Wands is the go getter, um, or is a go getter. She's not the only one. Um, but she is led by her intuition. She does not make a move without first discerning whether or not it is the right move. She always knows what is the right move and what isn't. Um, like I say, she'll make you look good, or he, if they're a receptionist, they are exactly the person that they. And if you have a business where having a receptionist is important, they can take care of all of the clients who come in. They are professional. They are courteous. They are everything that you want. They nothing, no ball. Nobody's perfect, of course, but they don't drop the ball on anything. They are on top of things. They are, and they're trustworthy. This person specifically, I feel like this is a very specific message for somebody. This person is very trustworthy. They're going to be your right hand. They're going to be your right hand. You are not going to make a move without them. Okay. Um, I feel like I need to be very adamant about that for some reason. Um, they'll take all your phone calls. They'll do everything. Okay, enough about that. Let's move on to your oracle cards. We have in the flow. The universe is sending you help. Oh my God, the universe is sending you. I can't make this up. I do not see these. I don't look at these cards ahead of time. I just shuffle them and put them in a pile and move on to the next pile. I don't look at them in the meantime, so I have no idea what these cards say before I pull them, before I look at them with you on the screen. In the flow, the universe is sending you help. Tap into your inner power and go deeper to create the purposeful. Hold on, let me look at this. The universe is sending you help. Tap into your inner power and go deeper to create the purposeful life you really want to have. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not reading backwards like this, but I'm not reading with my glasses on either, so I can't. And if I hold the cards closer to the screen, then I can read them better, but I also don't want to obscure anything for you any more than I am. But okay, the universe is sending you help. I know this is specifically talking about you being in flow with spirit, and spirit like sending you messages or sending you nudges or something like that. But I think also that spirit is literally sending you help in the form of a person. You have to be open to the inspire. Let me slow down. You have to be open to spirit's messages that are directing you to maybe hire somebody to help you, and hopefully this reading is part of that message and direction for you from spirit. Excuse me, I've been talking a long time, and I need to get some water. But I feel like they are literally sending you somebody to help you stay in the flow. Okay, this person can take care of the business side of things, maybe bookkeeping too, if that's something that you need. They can help you take care of the business side of things while you take care of the, like your clients, maybe. Okay. Whatever you need to do for your clients. Let's say you're in construction, so you can go around to different houses and give quotes or whatever. They can take messages, they can do bookkeeping, they can do scheduling, all that type of thing. So you are in the flow of your actual work, and you don't have to do the work of running a business and taking care of the numbers and taking care of the taxes and taking care of all that stuff, and also booking, doing bookings, talking to clients, actually, like I say, construction, actually, or subcontract or contracting, putting cabinets in or whatever the case may be. You can actually worry about the cabinets and worry about the tile and worry about the electricity and all that stuff while somebody else takes care of the back of house, if you will, work. Okay, enough with that. The Queen. The Queen of Wands. Determination and sacrifice. Again, this person, this Queen of Wands, you gotta hire them. I don't know what else to say. You gotta hire them. They are on top of their game so much. You're gonna be impressed. If you're somebody who's not easily impressed, this person impresses me, and I don't get impressed by anybody ever. This person impresses me. Their energy, I'd hire them, and I really don't have anything for them to do. They seem fantastic, and they're funny. they're funny, they're cheerful. Um, they can really handle anything that you throw at them. And if they can't, they'll tell you. They have no qualms or issues saying, "No, I don't know how to do that. I can't do that." But they will learn. They will try and they will learn. Okay. They talk, and I think they talk really fast because I keep wanting to talk fast and do things really quickly, and I'm kind of jittery. Um, so they may be kind of like that, kind of jittery, kind of frenetic, kind of hyper, because I'm feeling kind of hyper. Oh yeah, I'm jittery. Jeez. Sorry. Okay, last two cards. I'm gonna show these to you both at once because they'll factor into each other. Coins. Okay, this says money will be coming to you, and grasshopper. Let me put this down so I can. Excuse me. Situations in the balance that require careful handling. Um, the grasshopper is where the this Queen of Wands, Queen assistant person comes in. You will make bank by hiring this person. Yes, you have to pay them, but because they will be able to do things so efficiently and handle thing and have the time and the ability to handle things that maybe require a little bit more finesse than you actually have the time to do, you will create more profit. You will have more loyal clients, more loyal clientele, repeat customers, referrals, etc. Because of the way this person, she or he will be worth whatever pay that you pay them, whatever it is that you give them salary wise or what have you. They will be worth it. They will be worth it. They will grow your business, and I feel like you're going to be in a partnership with each other for a long time. So I really like that reading. I'm really excited for you, whoever that resonates for or resonates with. That's really cool. All right. So that is it for your August work and money reading for students, employed folks, unemployed and or folks looking for jobs, retirees, and self-employed individuals. I hope that this has been helpful. Um, if you have any comments, if you have any suggestions, leave them in the description, not in the description, I'm sorry, leave them in the comment section below. I will try to timestamp this. I wasn't keeping track of what the time was when I switched to each section, each group. So I will probably post this without timestamps first and then put them in later. If somebody out there watches this and can do it for me, I would appreciate that. But if not, don't worry about it. I will try to do it myself. And yeah, I hope this was helpful. If like I say, if you enjoyed this, like the reading, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye.